Hi, my name is Helia Singh and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can do something or you can't, you are right. And it's all about money mindset. Welcome to today's show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh. In today's show, we are talking about money and money mindset and how this is affecting you and your business and your lifestyle. We've got a lot to cover today, so that's why I have got the notes in front of me, so I have to refer to it sometimes because I don't want you to miss on anything today. And don't go anywhere. At the end of the show, we have a special guest. She is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Australia, and she's going to share with us her tips and views on how to change your mindset and how the money mindset can support you to make a better life for yourself. In terms of psychology, mindset is usually segmented to two things: fixed mindset versus growth mindset. But when it comes to wealth creation context, we are talking about scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. And these two are totally different things. You might sometimes think that, no, I've got a wealth mindset or abundant mindset. But when we go layer it down, we'll find out, no, there is always some little things here and there that is not supporting us. Otherwise, you should have been to where you wanted to be by now. So we're gonna unpeel this onion, so don't worry. So you're gonna learn a lot of stuff. Do you believe in overnight success? Or do you believe in luck to make money or become rich? Or do you believe that financial freedom is achievable for anyone if they put their mind and effort and talents into it? If your mindset or what you believe was the first one, which is believing overnight success, so you are running on scarcity mindset. You think that, oh, something has to happen overnight, otherwise it's not going to happen. So if you think that, no, financial freedom is achievable, you can get there if you learn the skills and tools to support you. That means you are ready to receive it. And that's the difference between these two different mindsets. Imagine you are not happy at work. You don't like your work, you don't like your boss, and it's Monday morning. You just wake up and drag yourself out of the bed to go to work. You go to work, and after a couple of hours, your boss calls you in. You go there and he gives you the bad news, which is you are fired. What are you going to do? Obviously, you are upset. So you are still in that state of shock, and you go back to your office, pack up your stuff, and trying to go back home. But in the way, you're just thinking about how you're going to talk about this to your partner, how you're going to afford the mortgage and feeding your family. So firstly, you are upset. When you go home, so you're sitting there and thinking about your life. If you are thinking your life is, oh, I'm not lucky, life is miserable, now, this was wrong, you're going to hate your boss for that. If you think any of these thoughts come to your mind, so this is the scarcity mindset, which is normal. Everybody thinks that they feel down and upset. But the way that we allow that line of thinking to take us, that's the huge difference when it comes to outcome of our thinking. But at the same time, this has happened. Obviously, not everybody is going to say, woohoo, I've got fired. Of course, I get it. But imagine, you go back home and think wisely. Say, well, reality is I never liked my job. Maybe I needed this push to finally do something about it. Okay, let's be practical. What can I do? Who do I know? How I can find a better job, or maybe start my business. So that's the growth mindset, that's the abundance mindset we're talking about. And this is how you can find and tap into your resources, tap into your skills and talent, and find a better way to grow yourself. And this is how your money will grow as a result of your growth mindset. So, but now, some people may say that, how to change it? Well, I was always like this. I'm born like this. Since I remember, I always felt this way. How can I change it? I can't just overnight, or just with the snap of finger change the way I think. But that's the thing. You can. You have the power. We all have choices. So, and this is your choice to whether you think that way or think the other way. It's just the same analogy that we all heard about glass half full. How would you like to look at it? Is it half full or is it half empty? So these are my tips. I want to give you how to change the mindset. Remember, failure is not the end of the world. Replace the failure with learning lesson, something that you learn that, oh wow, this is as a result of this is what I learned. Imagine if we all know that relationship breaks up happens to anyone, but does it mean that so nobody's going to go to relationship because there are so many divorces out there? No. But when it comes to money, why do we think that, okay, people have failed in making money, but so why we shouldn't be doing it? So give yourself that chance. Not everyone is the same. Second, lesson number 2, challenge versus opportunity. Think of it this way. When it comes to things that your terminology will affect your physiology, and your physiology will affect what's happening in your brain and how you react and respond to life events. If you think something happens and say, oh, that was challenging, change it. Say, where is the opportunity? Because there is always opportunity when there are challenges in the world. Lesson number 3, love what you do. To me, actually, this should have been number 1. But I thought, well, because we're talking in the context of wealth creation and I'm a financial advisor, I didn't want it to sound like, oh, it's so woo-woo, they're talking about loving and having passion. But this is the reality. If you don't love what you do, any obstacle is going to look as a huge problem, and you can't deal with it. And this is how people give up. Just find your passion and love what you do, so you will be having an amazing life. Lesson number 5, negotiate with your mindset, which is a fixed mindset, as a growth mindset. You can't solve a problem with the same line of thinking that you have created it. So if you think in a scarcity mindset, so if you look at the problem and try to fix it from that angle, again with the closed mind as a scarcity mind, you can't solve it. You have to step up. That way you will have a different view on your problem and look at options and opportunities. So just remember, the same problem, the same brain that created that problem cannot solve that problem. So you have to expand it. That's why you need to get comfortable to live outside your comfort zone. And lesson number 4 is learn to recognize your mentality, your mindset around things. So whether you have a fixed mindset or growth mindset, you need to listen to your internal dialect that you have in your mind. We all have that little person inside our brain chatting with us that, no, you can't do it, save yourself, save some dignity and run, you're going to make a fool of yourself. I'm sure you all heard that, because I've heard it and I still hear it. Just remember that. Don't think for a second that's going to stop. We need to be friendly with that little voice inside our brain and tell them that, look, I know you're just there to protect me. I know you want the best for me, but thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do what is the best to do. So practice doing what is your best to do. And try to learn new stuff. So remember to recognize it. So that's different to your gut feeling. I'm not talking about discard your gut feelings. So of course, when something's wrong, you know it's wrong. But if somebody is telling you, oh, if you do this, you're going to fail, just remember this is that your internal dialogue that is telling you that. So now for more details on how to change your mindset, so you can watch our 2 free online courses. Did I mention it's free? Yes, I mentioned it was for free. One is Financial Freedom Formula, which is achievable for everyone. That gives you the way to think about how you can sort out your finances, how to be passionate about what you do, how to even learn new stuff. Doesn't matter if you are an analytical person or imaginative person. It just gives you a different way of how to learn it. So this way, you can support your life again and achieve your goals. And the second course is how to set financial goals. Again, I'm sure you all have tried setting goals before, and some of us have, had a good achievement, but some of us not. But yeah, this way, just really check it out. You have nothing to lose. It's for free, and it's about only 45 minutes. You can learn how to set a goal, financial goals, and achieve it. It's got practical tools and templates and my support to get you there. So the courses will help you to shift your mindset. So that's what we're talking about today. So we'll just check on onlineacademy.heliasingh and get into those 2 free courses online right away. But now, are you ready for my final top secret? So if you're ready, I'm going to share it with you. So this is about, of course, our show is about wealth creation, and today's topic is about money mindset. So my final tip on this: financial products and strategies don't work. I'm sorry, they really don't work if your mindset is on scarcity. If you have a fixed mindset, they are not going to work. There is no financial product out there that can be given to you. It doesn't matter how much you are ready to buy it. So that's why you need to first fix there. Then I can give you other advices. As a financial advisor, there are so many strategies out there that can work. But if your mindset is not there, bad news, don't buy it. That's not going to help you. So the only time it works if you put the work into it, if you know that you will get into there. So make sure you will get there. So that's why before you go buy any financial products or think that, oh, if I buy these shares or this property or that managed fund, I'm going to become a super successful, don't waste your money. You might as well go to casino and gamble it and have fun with it. So first you need to fix up there. So it's all about money mindset. So now we're going to bring our guests to the program and have the interview. Now is the time to introduce our special guest today and bring her online. Her name is Amanda Stevens. Amanda Stevens is a very successful speaker and entrepreneur in Australia. And she is one of the best female speakers in Australia. She's shared the stage with Richard Branson. So, well, that already says a lot about her. And she is inspiring, entertaining, and she always was come up with these great ideas and to develop to especially business people and inspire us to do better in life. I was one of the lucky people to be at her audience a few times, and Amanda agreed to be in our show. We are very, very grateful for that because she travels all around the world, and you know how is the life of an entrepreneur, and she's a single mom as well. And yes, she just has given us her time, and we are so grateful. She's also an author. She's written 5 books, and one of her latest books is Turning Customers into Advocates. So that's the book that I really highly recommend any business to read it, because that shows how much you can rely on your customers' advocacy to grow your business and achieve the things you always wanted. So just stay tight, and you're going to bring Amanda online. Don't go anywhere. Hi, Amanda, and welcome to our show. How are you?
Helia, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are wonderful. Thank you so much for giving your time. I know how busy you are. And you know, I'm a big fan, and we all are so grateful to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thanks. And you know, today's show, we are talking about mindset and money mindset. And we wanted to know from an expert like yourself to please share with us some of the tips and views on this topic. So is it okay to start right into the questions?
Let's get started. It's a very big topic.
Yes, it is. In general, when it comes to money mindset, how much do you think is important for someone to develop a money mindset, or is important, or to be aware of their money mindset?
I think it's critical. I think in many respects, your money mindset is far more important than how much money you're making. So I think that's the mistake a lot of people make, and it's certainly one that I've made in the past, is being focused more on the dollars rather than your attitudes and your mindset and your beliefs around money.
Oh, wow, that's great. So yes, you agree that psychology of the money and how we treat money, it's more important than actual dollar amount in our bank account, isn't it?
Of course, we all know of people who make lots of money and don't have a great financial situation, and in reverse, people who may not have an incredibly huge income but put themselves or create a really great financial future for themselves, and that all really stems from money mindset, I believe.
Great, thank you for that. And now, Amanda, we know that you are a super successful entrepreneur. So were you always like that? You always had this money mindset, or do you have to, develop through life to build up this money mindset? And in another question,
I'm not sure. I think certainly it's something that I've had to work on and be more aware of. I was raised by a single mum, so I think that created perhaps some limiting beliefs for me. She did a really great job on very limited resources, but I think that did impact my beliefs around money early on, I think. And it wasn't until I did some personal development and some professional development and really became more aware that perhaps I had some limiting beliefs around money. So I think that, I think everyone in their own way has some sort of breakthrough or level, awareness at some point that perhaps they have some attitudes towards money that may be impacting, their financial future.
oh, that's great. I'm sure your mom has done a great job. It's so obvious. I mean, the result that you have achieved, it speaks for itself. That people, is it always that, somebody born with that money mindset, they stuck with it for life, or is it possible for them to change it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the first step, as I said, is being aware of what your beliefs are around money. I think that a lot of people go through life with very limiting beliefs around money, and perhaps have, create financial issues and that's a repetitive pattern that happens in their life and they're not quite sure why. But it's not until they have, as I said, that breakthrough and become more aware of what their beliefs and attitudes are towards money, because that really does, your money mindset really does impact every aspect of how you not only deal with money, but how you deal with life. Money is the thing that we all need, and it's the thing that really does impact a lot of our decisions, a lot of our lifestyle decisions, a lot of our investment decisions. So really understanding it at a core level what your money mindset is and what your beliefs are around money is so critical, because it really does, it impacts every aspect of your life. And if you do have limiting beliefs for whatever reason, and lots of people do, and that, there's lots of reasons for that. It could be our upbringing. I think from a society point of view, we're not really taught much about money in school. We're taught how to do our arithmetic, but we're not taught anything about financial management or goal setting. So I believe that, perhaps our education system also creates some limiting beliefs or a lack of education around money. And just how important it is to have a positive mindset and to be able to set goals, and also not, be able to strive for a financial outcome without feeling guilty or a sense of, we have this thing in Australia called tall poppy syndrome, which is very alive and well. So there's this societal attitude, and we have this value system as we're growing up that teaches us that, money is bad and it's the root of all evil, and all of these kind of insidious things that I think play a role as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much for the insight. So now I'm just going to take it to this question. What are your top 3 advice on how to develop a money mindset, or how to come out of that shell of thinking, no, I'm stuck with it, I can't change?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the first one is doing the work, understanding what your money mindset is, and whether you do have some limiting beliefs around money. And sometimes to do that exercise is quite confronting for people. So I think that's the first step, is really identify what your, I guess, money mindset looks like, and does it need to change, and do you need to do some work, and really understanding the gap that exists between perhaps what your money mindset is and what you're wanting to achieve. What do you want your financial future to look like? What does retirement look like? I mean, you know this better than anyone, that very few people, really think about the future the way they should. And the statistics around what's going to happen with retirement in the next couple of decades is quite frightening. So I think that, I think it's really about understanding your money mindset, understanding where you need to go, what you need to retire on, what you want that to look like, and then understand what you need to do, what steps you need to take in the meantime, what decisions, what sacrifices potentially you need to make, what risks you need to take, and what strategies you need to put in place to achieve that, rather than sort of just, what a lot of people do is get to retirement and then look at their super balance and think, well, what am I going to do now? So I think just having a more active role in financial management is what, is probably my biggest advice. And look, I'm still working on it, so I'm certainly no expert, but I think being aware and just conscious of it is the biggest step.
Right, great. Thank you very much. Now, looking at your brilliant book, which I have it, Turning Customers to Advocate. So why do you think it's so important for businesses to develop customer advocacy?
Well, I guess a little bit like securing your financial future by making wise investment decisions today, creating customer advocacy in a business is a really powerful way to future-proof your business. If you can create advocates and grow your business from within, it does create a very potent source of new business that's not just for the short term, but also for the longer term. So in my book, I talk about lots of different case studies of brands who've done that and really outline a bit of a blueprint for how to turn your existing customers into raving fans so that they do a lot of your marketing for you and a lot of your lead generation for you. So similar to when you invest in something that then pays dividends and you can make money while you sleep, sort of thing. That's very much how customer advocacy works for a business. So it's I sort of view building customer advocacy for any brand as an investment that that pays dividends for months and years to come.
Oh, that's great. Anyway, I've read it, I have it, so it's a brilliant book.
Thank you.
I recommend everyone to read it. Now, I just
Thank
want to ask a couple of personal questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
My question is this: that, well, of course, you are a mother and you are a successful superstar. You are a speaker. You travel all around the world. What's your mindset around work-life balance?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think that, look, like many people, I've read lots of books and on work-life balance and lifestyle and all that sort of thing. I think at the end of the day, it's got to come down to what works for you. Some people would look at my work-life balance and think that it's really out of balance. And I would look at someone else's work-life balance and think that that wouldn't work for me. So I think that there's no formula for work-life balance. This whole traditional notion of drawing the wheel and having all these pieces of pie, your family and your health and fitness and work and spirit, and all of this, having this perfect balance of all of these different pieces of the pie, it's just not realistic, and it's not, it doesn't take into account that people are very different. So, I feel really fortunate that I do something that I love. So for me, work, I do a lot of work that I do not because I have to do it, but because I truly do love it. So, and I feel, I'm conscious that I'm in a very fortunate position. So I think, I say to people, if you are not loving what you're doing, you're not a tree. So find something that you love, and then it becomes more of a hobby. So yeah, I feel really fortunate that I not only do something that I love, but it also gives me a lot of time to spend with my son and to pursue other projects as well.
Oh, that's great. This is exactly what we've been always talking about, that following the passion. So if you follow the passion, work doesn't seem like work. You just love to do what you do. So that's great, Amanda.
That's right. You've got to love what you do. It's so important.
And also now, as a result of your mindset, what is the most courageous thing you've done in your life and how that impacted your business success?
What's the most courageous thing I've done? I think probably being a mum was the most courageous thing. Yeah, I think being a parent takes a lot of courage. Look, I think I've done lots of things that have been courageous and haven't worked. There's probably not one big thing I can think of. I think that being in business takes daily courage. Probably the most courageous thing I've done is probably my first speaking engagement. Took a lot of courage because it didn't come naturally to me. It was frightening. I was really out of my depth, out of my comfort zone. But little did I know that day that it was going to set me on a path to doing that, as my career. So I think that often we need to, when we take those moments of courage to step outside our comfort zone, we just never know where they're going to lead. So so I think life is one big courageous step in many ways. But yeah, I try and do something every day that feels courageous and takes me outside my comfort zone and scares me a little bit.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing with us. To me, that shows that even super successful people like yourself, you got your moment to feel fear and doubt, but still that courageous mindset will take you navigate through life. And usually people think once somebody is up there or there is that level is not achievable, and they think that person is superstar. I can't compare myself to that. But now with you sharing your personal experience, that tells our audience that look, they can achieve it too. Everybody can maneuver through life and get the things they want. Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
And now, final question. If you were to condense the secret of your success to one thing, what would it be?
Oh, the secret of success. Do you know what? There is no secret of success. It's hard work. People might look at where I'm at now and think, obviously I've achieved a lot, but it's taken a lot of hard work. I've been speaking for 13 years now, so it's hard work and it's constant improvement. I even now when I do a speaking engagement, I will take time out to review and think about what could I have done better. I think that success often comes in the 1%ers. There's never one big thing. There's no silver bullet. There's no thing that launches you into the stratosphere and you become an overnight success. Though that happens very rarely. If you talk to most successful people, they'll tell you that it's hard work and it's consistency is the key. It's making the improvements, it's doing the 1%ers, it's doing the extra 5 minutes, making the extra 5 phone calls. If you do that consistently enough, over a long enough period of time, that literally adds up to be the big improvement over time.
Oh, that's great, wonderful, and I really appreciate it. So technically, there is no secret to success. It's all hard work. There is no shortcut to success. That's perfect. That's just amazing, Amanda. Thank you very much for your time. Again, I really appreciate you being here with your busy schedule. We wish you a great success, and I would love to see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you, Helia. I appreciate it. And thanks.
Day.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Bye for now. That was an amazing interview. Thank you very much, Amanda. And I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. I certainly learned a lot again from Amanda. And if you want to know more about Amanda, please check out on her website and look at her books. Definitely you will learn more than what you bargained for. And the next one is now to wrap it up and see, okay, what we learned today. So, and it's funny because we already talked about the mindset from my point of view as a finance advisor. Now we brought an expert, like Amanda, online, and we listened to her. Isn't it interesting how many areas it was overlapping? So yeah, as if like we already exchanged the notes, but honestly, we haven't done that. But it just shows that people, when they get to a certain degree of our developing mindset, we think similar. So this is what makes us a bit separate from others who haven't created wealth yet. But the best part to know is you can do it as well. So it doesn't matter where you are, what stage of life you got, what kind of upbringing you have, you could always create the wealth that you want. So previously in our promo video, I already talked to you about my personal lifestyle and what happened to me in life and how I got to where I am now. So now you heard it from Amanda. She was raised by a single mom, but still, look at her. She's a super successful entrepreneur. So everything is possible. And remember, there is no shortcut to success. That's the problem. People always want to get the latest or the smallest shortcuts to success, but honestly, that doesn't exist. The shortcut is be prepared for hard work. That's the mindset, that's the mentality you need to be prepared to get to where you want. And another golden nugget that Amanda shared with us was even she wasn't like this in the beginning. She had to go through life to get here. And even now, even sometimes she's got doubt and fears, or even as a, for her first gig as a speaker, she was nervous, and definitely I am nervous now. You all can say that. But yeah, it all happens. But what makes the successful people separate from unsuccessful is to have that courage and to go through life even knowing that, okay, you may fail, but we look at the failure as learning skills, not as a failure that, okay, life is over, I better give up and go back home. So just remember, keep going. You can do that. So these are our points for today. I really hope, again, that you enjoyed this show as much as we all did. And please don't forget to subscribe. You like this show? Subscribe right now and like it and share it with others. Remember, sharing is caring. Let the world know about what you learn. And I really wish you all the success that you deserve.